Over the past couple of years, there have been several articles written about yogis being injured during the practice of yoga. And most recently, there was a New York Times article. And today, I really wanted to talk about that. When I read the article, I was totally disheartened when I read it, because I was like, oh my God, as a yoga teacher, as a trainer of yoga teachers, there has to be a way to share the love and passion of this practice without people being injured. And I think that article also had the way that it was written to actually scare beginners from even showing up to the yoga mat. So I really want to talk about two sides of this. There's both a responsibility that falls on the student, and there's a responsibility that falls on the yoga instructor. And when it comes to the student of course has to be fully honest with themselves and fully aware of what their own personal capabilities are. Now, when it comes to the yoga instructor, that yoga instructor, if they are fully trained, all right, and certified, and they've gone through a really qualified program, they should have the ability to look at their student, know as they watch the body, as they observe the eyes of their student, and know exactly what that student's abilities are. And of course, that yoga instructor's responsibility is to provide options and props and adjustments and mindful movement. Now, when it comes to the yoga teacher and the yoga student practicing together, participating in this yoga experience together, there has to be a discussion about mindfulness. Because at the end of the day, that's where it all comes together. The yoga student, the yoga teacher has to be fully aware, present, and mindful about how they are moving through the practice. Another side of this also deals with the benefits. We know that there are a million benefits of the practice of yoga. But the benefits aren't just about the ones on the physical level, because this yoga practice, or this thing that we call yoga, goes way beyond those postures and those movements that we do on the mat. It's all about your breath. It's all about your state of mind and the benefits that you receive from being mindful and aware of where you're going and what you're doing on your mat. And you're able to take all of those lessons that you learn on your mat off the mat. So really, for me, as a yoga teacher and as a student as well, my main benefit is I'm able to live my life a little bit fuller. I'm able to be kind, generous, and loving to people around me. And I'm able to be much more present and aware both in my body and when I'm out there in the world, when I'm living my everyday life. So for my beginners out there who've never practiced yoga, take your time, do your research, find out about all the teachers that are in your community, do the lessons and study the different styles and practices of yoga, and figure out what really is going to work for your body, for what you're looking for and seeking in the practice of yoga. And once you do that, give a couple of them a try. If it doesn't fit, if it doesn't feel good to your body, to your soul, to your spirit, don't do it. And then move on to the next practice. Maybe it's just breathing, maybe it's meditation, maybe it's actually the asana practice, but whatever it is, it should feel good to your body, it should feel good to your soul, and of course, it should feel good to your spirit. One thing I always tell my yoga students when I'm teaching, if it doesn't feel right, take child's pose. And that means take child's pose at any point in time. That means child's pose can be not only the posture, but finding a place to pause, find ease, and feel comfortable. So I hope this helps. If you read the New York Times article, or if you read other things online that talked about yogis being injured in the practice of yoga, oh yeah, it can happen, but it really is up to you and up to the students.